First years will feel like they get a lot of homework at the beginning. Like at the start, in comparison to 6th class, it will be a lot, but when you get towards the end of the year, maybe towards June or May, you will feel, that's actually not too much homework, because Miss Gill is actually saying that first year should only get 1 hour of homework maximum any night, so it won't be too bad for the first year.
No, it won't take long to get used to the layout. Even when you're in first year, everyone in your year group is in sort of the same boat, and you all just tend to sort of stick together. And it won't take long, because you tend to associate based on days and where you're going and what you have next. So don't be worrying about that. You'll get there soon enough.
Our school doesn't have a canteen, but the shop uptown Gala is really close, so a lot of students go up there to get their lunch. Also, there's a lot of seating areas around the school for people to gather and eat their lunch, but also, as long as you're respectful of the environment and clean up after yourselves, most teachers do allow people to eat in their rooms at break time. So if there was a certain group of friends you like to gather with, I'm sure there'd be no problem if you wanted to gather in a room.
Yeah, so all the different subjects you'll be doing, you can find in the induction pack, and then you'll also have the option to choose 2 choice subjects. You'll choose those choice subjects at the end of the first 3 weeks in first year.
There's information about the lockers in the induction booklet already, but the first year lockers are all grouped together in 2 sections, and yes, you usually do change locker every year.
Getting lost is probably one of the biggest fears first years will have, but the main thing is to remember that all the other years and the teachers know and they understand your situation, so they will be a lot more friendlier about it, and if you ask anyone they will help. And usually actually at the beginning of first year, the teachers actually might let first years out 5 minutes early, maybe at lunchtime and break time, just so you can get out and around the school without getting lost. 5 minutes just to sort yourself out and whatnot. It's a lot handier, but definitely if you can't find your lockers or you're late for class, just ask for help. It's probably the easiest thing.
You can go down at small break, you're allowed to, but it's not always the best idea just at the start. Normally it's best to make sure that you have your books and everything first, and if you have maybe 10 minutes left to spare, you could push it, but it's not always the best idea until you're very comfortable in the school already and know your teachers and know what's expected of you for each class. So yes and no, technically.
As I said before, students gather in the seating areas around the school and in classrooms as well, but also at break time a lot of sports activities go on and a lot of clubs, which I think Sarah is going to tell you about. So there's a lot of clubs available in the school that often take place at break time too.
So the uniform is a turquoise jumper, a white polo neck, grey trousers, and also girls have the option to pick a grey skirt and black shoes. You can get the jumper in John O'Brien's in Westport. You can get the polo shirt kind of like anywhere, in even like Tesco's or something. It's usually like under a tenner. And then obviously the trousers can be bought in John O'Brien's as well, and the black shoes you can get in most shoe shops.
Again, in the induction booklet there is a day-to-day checklist of what you need to bring to school. So generally your books and stationery.
There are quite a lot of clubs in our school. In terms of sport, we have Gaelic football for girls and for the lads of all age groups. We have soccer, we have badminton, and a basketball team just started up this year. We have a choir and an orchestra. We also have a board games club that is on during lunchtimes once a week. And then there's also 2 councils as such within the school. There's a student council, which is a representative of each class, just come together maybe once a month and just discuss ideas and whatnot. And then there's the green schools, which try and make the school a more greener and earth-friendly environment.
We don't have a PE uniform. You just bring your own sports gear to PE. Just make sure you bring something comfortable, something you can move quickly in, and that you're flexible and that you'll be able to, just move freely.
The first year book list, you have it already, it's in the induction booklet, so have a good look at it.
If you want to take music as a subject but you're a bit shy, that should not be holding you back, mainly because Miss Hogan understands how worrying it can be at the start, that to perform in front of a group of people you don't really know. So she will be understanding about that, especially if you speak to her. But do take music, because I found that throughout my 3 years studying it, I gained a lot more confidence than I thought, and towards the end of it I was really comfortable performing in front of my classmates, so definitely don't let that hold you back.
Well, that's a very important question now, that you don't really need, you don't really need money if you bring a prepared lunch. But it would be smart just to have €2 or €3 to bring, just in case you did go uptown. If you're spending more than €2 or €3, that might be a bit too much, just based on what you can buy. But it is always smart to have €2 or €3 just in case you forget anything.
Besides the books and your stationery, there's an administration fee of €100 that's paid by every student in the school, which covers insurance, photocopying and day-to-day expenses in secondary school.
You don't need a laptop for first year, as long as you have access to the online facilities, such as like Google Classroom, in case when you start in first year you're not like immediately going to classes in person. You might have to do some work from home, and in case the teachers need to get in touch with you, just as long as you have some access to Google Classroom, that's perfect. You don't need a laptop, it's not a necessity.
Compulsory, no. Encouraged, yes. Every year we do encourage all the first years to take part in the auditions, but if somebody really doesn't want to do them, then absolutely not. No, you won't be forced to do them. If you want to do them but are a bit nervous about doing them in front of a large group, then I can take you out in smaller groups to do them also.
Well, it's something I've done a lot over the past 6 years, where you just lose books or copies or anything. First thing, most importantly, you have to make sure that everything is labelled with your name and your class. Very important. If you do lose it, just let the teacher know and make sure you keep up with the work. You can get photos of your classmates, or some books are ebooks that you can get on the computer. But worst comes to worst, you may just have to buy another one. Or check with our caretaker Noel, very friendly, and he may have one just sitting in the back that you can use.
Yeah, that's peer pressure, isn't it? Say no. It takes a lot to say no, but that's the strong advice. And if my advice would be is to tell somebody about it. Tell one of your teachers. You could tell your mentor. If you don't want to tell a teacher, you could tell your mentor and they could come and tell your teacher. Or equally, you can talk to your parents about it and get them to ring in and tell us about it. But absolutely, if you see someone trying to break one of the rules, teachers definitely want to know about it. And be brave. Yeah, and we'll help you with that too. All I'd say there is try not to worry. A lot of the curriculum is new in secondary school. Of course, there's going to be allowances in general because of time missed for everybody. But there will be new stuff that it won't really matter what you did in primary school. So yeah, and if you're struggling with something, please talk to your teachers about it. Everyone is going to be understanding. Okay. It's a great question. No, you don't need to bring all your books on the first day. You just bring your pencil case and a copy. your lunch and PE gear. But no, you'll get your timetable on the first day and then you'll know what books to bring in.